Hello, everybody. Welcome to the weekly Solopreneur online hangout. Today, we're going to be discussing the marketing campaign going on at Powur that's promoting the Solar City installations and getting us new partners for our business. I'm going to share the steps that the possible customers are going to see in hopes that everybody that will be answering the calls for these customers will be better equipped to respond to their questions and give them the appropriate information. For the first time when I've received an ad campaign or a script from a company, it's actually something I'm comfortable with using. I find that I have to do a little bit of layout correction and maybe change 10% of the verbiage because it's things that I wouldn't say the way I would say them. But I really like the heart and soul of this new campaign and how simple they're keeping it and how basic it is. Funny enough, the first two videos in the lead intake for this Powur campaign are also two of the videos I put on the first page I ever put up on Solopreneur about Powur. So I'm thinking that I had the same idea all the way along, although it is similar to my original introduction. There's the 1-minute short video followed up by the 11-minute updated Jonathan Budd Explains Powur. On a second note, if we have time today before the half hour, I want to go through the second generation comp plan because I realized on a call with Vanessa I had something about the compensation plan confused between the two different versions. Sarah had contacted me all panicked because she was concerned she didn't have qualified partners underneath her. Well, in the original Powur business model, you had to get 3 sales to become qualified. It turns out in the new Powur business model, you just have to have paid your $400 Powur sign up and done your training to be qualified. So if people were thinking they weren't going to get paid for their 3 recruits or their 5 recruits or their 1 recruit because they didn't have a qualified partner underneath them, that's okay, because under the new system, any paid partner that's taken their training is considered qualified. So all they're saying is it had to be new qualified people to win the contest, and it wasn't super well worded because they're trying to keep the form short. The confusion was mine because it doesn't say under, it's not L1 anymore, it's senior partner. And then it's, well, we'll cover that afterwards. I'll go through the steps, and that way when we're talking with head office, we won't confuse them when we're asking answers to complicated questions by using incorrect terms for the positions of the people on our teams or ourselves when we're saying we are such. We have to be using the same term or verbiage that people at head office are using now, and not the original ones that we were exposed to 8 months ago. So I'm going to go and find the screen share button here, and I am going to go to the introductory letter I got from Powur last week. All right, so this is what the funnel process looks like. I'm just going to click on the steps, and we're going to go through it just like a first-time customer would be receiving the information. Are you able to hear that, Dad, and see the video?
I can see the video, can't hear a thing.
Really?
No sound.
Now can you?
Earning a 20-year guaranteed
Yes.
residual income.
Okay, so I can't have my headphones in when I'm playing a video.
Imagine
Oh, okay.
commission checks based on leads, no purchase necessary. Imagine an opportunity with unlimited upside in the largest industry on the planet with no expensive monthly auto ships, no annual fees, no garages full of product, and no selling. Imagine if you could be the first to disrupt 2 of the biggest industries. And imagine being in business with a company co-founded by global entrepreneurial icon Elon Musk, the founder of Tesla, PayPal, and SpaceX. This is your opportunity to work at the founding level of a game-changing new company and position yourself at the beginning of the next multi-trillion-dollar global trend. Enter your email now to get the full details.
Well, that is the first step. And this is the newest version. I haven't seen this version, so this is the one we should be sharing with people as an introduction. I'll share the link in the Solarpreneur group after this session.
Yeah, I have seen that one before.
Nice. All right, so from there, when they confirm, which means they just put in their email, the second step in their Powur introduction is here.
Oh, yeah.
So they've been added to the early notification list for the Powur Grid. It's going to click through to the second video.
What if you could join a
And this is the end of January version of the company
solving
presentation.
the greatest challenge of the 21st century? And what if your involvement allowed you to create financial freedom for decades to come? Global visionary entrepreneur Elon Musk, founder of PayPal, Tesla, and SpaceX, has said sustainable energy is the most important challenge we need to solve this century. Over 97% of the global scientific community agrees with him that the man-made burning of fossil fuels is the cause of our rapidly changing climate, and devastating consequences are in store if our generation doesn't take action now.
The Chief of the U.S. Navy's Pacific Command, Admiral Samuel Lockyer, said that climate change is our single greatest security threat.
This summer, I saw the effects of climate change firsthand in our northernmost state, Alaska, where the sea is already swallowing villages and eroding shorelines.
Things will change in ways that their fragile environment simply can't support. Until we get near to zero, the temperature will continue to rise. And that leads to starvation, it leads to uncertainty, it leads to unrest.
The world has somewhere between 2 to 3 times as many power plants as it actually needs. Even if today we went super hard in the direction of renewables, it would still take a long time.
We are the first generation to feel the impact of climate change and the last generation that can do something about it.
The clean energy future is not only possible, but if we all work together, national governments, subnational governments, and the international community, it is absolutely certain. Thank you very much.
It's time for us to solve the energy crisis, put our planet on a path to sustainability, and provide a safe environment for future generations to live. The solution rises every morning, our giant fusion reactor in the sky called the sun. What's incredible is that just 15 minutes of the sun hitting the Earth is enough to power all global energy needs for an entire year. The renewable energy industry is set for explosive growth. In the last 5 years, solar energy costs have plummeted over 80%, making it cheaper to get your electricity from solar for most of the U.S. population today.
Effectively, it's the first time there's been competition for this monopoly. The utilities have been the only ones that own those power distribution lines, but now it's on your roof. So I think it's actually very empowering for homeowners and businesses.
Over 800,000 U.S. homes have already made the switch to solar energy, with a new installation occurring every 60 seconds. The undisputed worldwide leader in residential solar power is publicly traded SolarCity, co-founded in 2006 by Elon Musk, the visionary behind PayPal, Tesla Motors, and SpaceX. SolarCity is America's largest solar provider, currently providing 1 out of every 3 new solar systems nationwide. SolarCity currently services over 300,000
Good morning.
following states,
Morning.
with federal expansion on the horizon. And what's most exciting, the opportunity in sustainable energy is just
So, are we in the webinar?
life-changing.
We're watching the new company video that our lead people will be going through before we talk to them.
Over a century. SolarCity, the #1 solar company.
There you go.
Did you see it on the screen?
Category
Right.
direct sales company, solar energy website, offering SolarCity products and services through the Powur network. Hayes Bernard, the Chief Revenue Officer at SolarCity, said, Powur's model is the future for how solar will be sold. Powur utilizes the direct sales business model, one of the most proven businesses on planet Earth. In 2013 alone, direct selling generated over $178 billion and paid over $70 billion in commissions to partners. As a partner with Powur, you have the chance to be part of a category-creating, first-of-its-kind opportunity that will literally
change the world. Elon Musk is one of the great visionaries of the 21st century, and it's an extraordinary opportunity for all our partners to represent one of his revolutionary companies.
As a Powur partner, imagine being able to offer a product to the people you know in any SolarCity market that could replace the dirty energy they currently buy from their utility with cheaper, cleaner, and renewable energy, and it won't cost them a single dollar upfront. Imagine if you could save them hundreds, maybe even thousands of dollars per year with zero risk. Imagine all of this, and there was no hassle, no work, no money. Just cleaner energy for a better price. This is Powur's solution from SolarCity today. SolarCity has pioneered a variety of $0 down lease and purchase options so that their customers can enjoy the benefits. Energy is a $500 billion market just in the US, and SolarCity is already internationally. If you've ever wanted more time freedom, more money freedom, more purpose, the ability to live a life by design, that's what Powur can provide. Here's what you join Powur. There's only two things our partners ever do. One, refer free. Two, teach others to do the same. While it may sound simple, by learning to do these two simple things, you can build an extraordinary part-time or full-time income and earn residual payments guaranteed for the next 20 years. As a partner, the first way you can get paid are from installation bonuses. You earn $200 on each and every proposal you personally refer that turns into an installation with SolarCity. There's no limit to how many proposals you can refer and installations you can get paid on. The second way you can get paid are team bonuses. The first goal in Powur is to qualify your position and become eligible for lucrative team bonuses and 20-year residual payments. You get qualified just by submitting 3 qualified leads to SolarCity. Meet a few more simple requirements and get promoted to senior partner. Powur has pioneered lead acquisition bonuses, or LABs for short, which is a breakthrough reward that can pay you on each and every partner inside your team that gets qualified just by submitting leads. As a senior partner, every time you personally enroll a new partner who gets qualified, you can earn $125, and there's no limit to how many of those bonuses you can earn. Then, every time a new partner joins your team and gets qualified, you can earn $50 to unlimited levels. There's no limit to how many partners can join your team and how many lab bonuses you can earn. Meet a few more requirements and get promoted to Game Changer. As a Game Changer, you can earn $250 on each new partner you personally enroll who gets qualified. And better, $100 to $175 on every new qualifying partner that joins your team to unlimited levels. And it doesn't stop there. Meet a few more requirements and get promoted to National Game Changer. As a national GC, you can earn $350 on each new partner you personally enroll and qualify, and $100 to $275 on every partner joining your team and qualifying to infinite levels. While Powur does not guarantee any income will be made, imagine if you were one of the first to share this incredible opportunity with the tens of millions of Americans looking for more money, more purpose, and the opportunity to be part of a game-changing team solving one of the planet's biggest challenges. Imagine how your life might change from hundreds or thousands of lab bonuses as passionate people like yourself join your team. And this is just the start. The lab bonus was designed to pay you today, while your 20-year residual payments accrue for tomorrow. For illustration purposes only, let's assume you sign up as a Powur partner and invite 5 of your best contacts to join you. With each team member inviting just 5 people, here's how your growth ensues. If each team member asks just 5 homeowners to get a free proposal from the #1 solar company on planet Earth, and 20% of those proposals convert to an installation within just 6 generations, your residual income with Powur would be $18,530.50 per month for the next 20 years, in addition to your lab bonuses. Simply put, joining Powur is a groundbreaking business model, giving you the flexibility to set your own schedule, achieve time and financial freedom, and leave your legacy for future generations. In addition, There's no inventory, no recurring purchases every month, no selling as we leave that to the professionals at Solar City. Yet you benefit from Solar City's $6 billion infrastructure working on your behalf to sign up customers you can get paid on for the next 20 years. Getting started is easy because our model is easy. As a partner, it's only a one-time cost of $399 to join, and you're in business for life. Joining Powur is an opportunity of incredible significance, working on one of humanity's most pressing challenges that could financially change your life forever. We've all seen how technology has radically changed our world over the last few decades. We've seen how quickly computers, satellites, cell phones, and apps have permeated every facet of our society, and the people at the forefront of those technological revolutions made billions and changed the world. Imagine if that was you. Solar energy is the next great technological revolution. Solar will change every facet of our society, making available cheap, clean, abundant energy across the globe. This is your chance to create a life-changing income at the forefront of the next great trend while working with the most iconic entrepreneurs of our time. Don't miss your chance to be there for the power revolution. Together, we can change how electricity has been produced for over a century and set our planet on a true path to prosperity and sustainability. Get back to the person who shared this video with you and find out how easy it is to start with Powur today.
So that is the second thing that your customers see. So in there they get all the stop this. All the reasons why they should join the business. Some people have been commenting about the fact that we can't use Solar City's brand name or Elon Musk in our advertising. I don't think the way these videos are set up that we need to. If we can get people in front of these videos, particularly that 1 minute and 14-second one that we started with, it does all that public stuff, all that sharing stuff in a way that is approved because it's a company video. So we just need to put people in front of it. And honestly, if they can't take 1 minute and 14 seconds to look at the basics, they're never going to make it through an 11-minute video, let alone show up and bring a guest to a meeting or sign somebody up. So I think it's just a genius filtering process. Everybody sees the 1 minute and 14, they give a bit of information, then they see the 11-minute, then they're asked for 10 pieces of information. So everything you would need to sign them up as a customer or a rep is asked for during the application process before the leads are sent to us by Vanessa. So what I found was really cool is out of the 5 leads I got earlier last week now on Wednesday and Thursday, they all had filled out at least 7 fields, and 3 of the 5 had filled out 8 fields. I've never asked a customer on a website for 10 fields. I think the most I've ever asked for on a form is 4, and usually I get 2 or 3 of the 4 on the form. Normally I'm only asking for 2 pieces of information, their name and email. So they've solicited the name and email between the first 2 videos, and after the second video they've asked for 10 new pieces of information, including their residential address, their monthly bill for their utility, for their electricity, what state they're in, whether they own their home, and these people are quite forthcoming with their information.
Michael, you're frozen.
Yeah, he is for me too.
I see him.
I see him twice.
Yeah, so do I. We've lost his video. We lost his voice.
Right when he was getting great news.
Hello, Michael. Hello.
When he went off screen share, I got a little box up that said Michael is no longer presenting. I don't know if that
I'm back. Can you hear me?
Yeah, what happened?
Yeah, you're double.
I'm double. I got dropped from the conversation and had to load back in.
I
Welcome
missed
back.
all of that.
You just never know about this wonderful service called Hangouts on Air. In this case, webinars on air using Hangouts. I have no idea. My screen was black.
When you went off screen share, I got a little box up that said Michael is no longer presenting. So I don't know if you clicked the wrong button, perhaps.
Maybe. It actually shuffled me right out, and I had to reload the app and come back in as a new person. So it hasn't happened to me before, but I know it's happened to other people, so I guess it was just my turn. So the videos the companies we're using now are much tighter than the ones we saw originally. I think they've got a lot more content spaced into a shorter time frame and have much better impact than the originals I saw.
Yeah, I think so too.
I'm just going to click back to the list here. So has everybody seen the let me go back to the screen share here. I'll show you the Powur application that people are going to be filling out. So this is the third step, and here is the application page for joining Powur. So they're asking for name, last name, phone number, email, address, city, state, province, or zip code, postal or zip. And they've included postal, so I would lead me to believe they know that more than we do about coming to Canada, because I've never seen postal here before. It's always ever just said zip code.
Oh, I see. It's got both. Okay. So
Never had both before. Estimate monthly utility bill. Are they a homeowner? So they've asked for 10 pieces of information, and so far my 5 leads have filled out 7 or 8 of these things. So that would lead me to believe that the leads they're getting are fairly serious. The 2 of the 5 people I've had conversations with both have existing experience in network marketing, and one lady's been supporting herself for 30 years as a network marketer and has 3 companies she's actively promoting right now. That was sort of exciting because she already has people in markets where it's open, even though she's not in a state where it's open. She has downline in those some of those states and has 100 people in one of her organizations. So if she decides to join us, she potentially has 100 other people that are going to be interested in the next 30 days. The first lady I talked to, who I haven't had a chance to follow up with, she says she knows 500 people in the state of Utah that belong to a cooperative, and last year when she was their secretary, they were looking for green business options that were active in their state. Now, we're not active in their state yet, but just the fact that I met this lady means that when they are, I can get back in touch with her, and she's got potentially 500 downline that are looking for a green business already in that state. She's going to approach them this week to see if they're interested, even though it isn't active in their state yet. But that's just 2 of the first 5 out of maybe hundreds of leads. So I'm quite excited because usually, 20% are interested, 10% have some experience, and 5% do something. So the fact that 40% are experienced so far, I may just have a small section or been lucky, but so far so good. The 4th part in the process is Powur TV processing. I don't know what this is. Don't close this page. All right, we will not close this page. Let it load. We're not counting as company clicks because we've got direct links to each page, which is why they've given them to us.
How do you access all this stuff?
I was sent an email, and the email has hot links in it. Due to, so I can load these pages to look at them before I talk to the people, or while I'm talking to the people so I can go back to the page if they have a question about it.
Oh, I see.
I believe that on Wednesday, after you guys attend the Tuesday night training, you'll each get this same email. I'm not going to assume that and share it with each one of you, but I was going to go through with what I've been shown because this is honestly the best company presentation I've ever seen. I wish I'd had access to this a month ago because I would be sharing some of this in my funnel process because it's so clean and easy to use. And it's all company approved, so you don't have to worry about getting hauled up saying you've done something non-compliant or used Powur's name or used SolarCity's name or used Elon Musk's name in the wrong way, because it's all company supported stuff. As long as you're sharing company supported stuff, they can't haul you over the coals for it. They created it for you to share. The responsibility they've taken on is that their information is going to be okay to share. So here it says, due to the high demand, it might take 2 or 3 days to get back to you. If you would like to speak to somebody sooner, email Vanessa at Powur, because she is the lady that is the ad campaigner. She is the technical person that does all of the sorting, all of the sharing of leads with us, all of the contacts when there's a problem. It goes straight to Vanessa. We highly recommend you review the material below to prepare for your call. So this would be the Powur Partnership Program, an overview. That's the comp, or the basic how you get paid. Then they go in-depth understanding the Powur rewards. That's the 12-page PDF that's available in your back office. And then this is the 4 or 5 minute video where Elon Musk introduces the Powur wall to the world last year. It's been on Solopreneur since the very beginning. It was one of the videos I picked because it was a short clip of Elon Musk sharing something that's related to the solar systems, because in Hawaii they're already using this Powur wall to make the solar systems there work for their customers, because with the changes in local legislation, they were being charged a monthly $15 fee to connect to the grid. So if they weren't giving back $180 a year in power, it was costing them money off their contract to pay the utilities before they started getting paid on their power. So that was cost prohibitive, particularly in an area where there isn't a lot of heating. It's all air conditioning and normal electricity for use, because Hawaii, I'm sure they don't have to heat their houses often. It's more probably cooling is an issue. They probably don't have as big a consumption for electricity as some areas might. So this is the 4th step. Let me go back to the original, and then the 5th step in the funnel, or the completed advertising plan, takes them to a congratulations page. You've had the chance to be a pioneer leader in Powur. Prepare for your call. Due to the high demand, it might take 2 or 3 days. Back to that. It's just a repeat of what we just went through on the last page. And that takes them to the end of the list, and then they wait for us to call them back. So far, what I've been doing is I have been calling the customer. The day I get their contact, the company has asked that we contact the people within 2 hours of receiving the leads. So part of the induction process for everybody on Wednesday will be to provide Vanessa with a schedule of availability. So she wants to know when in your week you're willing to answer the phone on less than 2 hours notice, and be what time periods you're available in, because the last thing she wants to do is send you a lead at a time where it would be impossible for you to follow up in a timely manner. Even though she said to the people that it's going to take 2 or 3 days, she is still trying to get us the leads within that 2-hour window of them coming into the system, because they haven't ramped the ads up too much. They've only gotten, I only got 5 a week out of 11 people, so I would suspect they got 55 leads last week, because I got an equal share of them if I got an equal share of them. The newest people, the older people in might be getting 10 in that period, and the new people are getting 5 because they're trying to break us in gradually and see how we do. I don't know exactly how it works. I'm just excited that the leads they told us about last year have appeared, and not only have they appeared, they seem to be coming in a consistent manner. The funnel is tight, the videos are clean, all the pages look very professional. Better than anything I've been able to produce, but of course I'm a small guy making tens of thousands, and they're a large company that's invested $3 million and have full-time coders on their staff. It's nice to know that the technology has caught up with the hype. We were told we'd have the best tools, and that was not my experience in the beginning. But when you're in beta and they're still working out the details, you can't expect everything to be shiny and bright and work perfectly every time. But I can see, just in the 8 months I've been here, a huge shift in attitude and direction. The focus is all tightening up. They seem to have made the important thing the important thing. With the new comp plan, it became very obvious as we went through, your biggest paycheck in the first 5 years is going to come from getting other people qualified. I started thinking about the math when they were talking about $250 per qualified person in your team that I qualify for, and that gets me really excited because it's one thing to get paid well on a customer install, but I don't want to be chasing customer installs the rest of my career at Powur. I want to be working with people that are working with people and so on and so forth, not talking necessarily to the customers forever. And this business model pays you for taking care and training your people, because it's all the biggest paychecks come from training and qualifying people for their first 3 leads. So I think it's genius, because the biggest paycheck comes to the people who are doing the things that will make other people successful, not pay themselves. In so many business models I've been at, by the time I've been in a year, I realize that the people that have been around forever at the top are getting paid the most, and the people underneath them don't have a fair chance at that pile. But the way this compensation plan is set up, if you do the work, you get paid, and it doesn't matter whether you've been in for a week, a month, or a year. As soon as you hit the goal, you're going to get paid at the same rate as everybody else that's hit that goal. There's not pay for the owners, pay for the first-timers, and pay for the second-timers, which is all different. Everybody's working on the same plan. We all have access to the same benefits and bonuses. I'm going to stop talking now, and I'm going to ask for you guys to ask questions, because hopefully in the questions I'll be able to provide some more information and help you guys figure out what your next move is going to be.
Do you see my question?
I don't have the chat open. I didn't open it after I came back into the reading. I don't see a question in the chat. Did you put it in the questions or the chat?
I put it in the chat. What are we just saying to these leads? Free them Solar City?
The leads I have been talking to have been targeted to Powur partners, not Solar City customers. Oh. So always the first course is, have you watched Jonathan's 11-minute video?
Okay.
Bobby made it very clear that he personally, as my upline, didn't want to talk to anybody that hadn't seen the 11-minute video, because he's tired already after 6 months of explaining every step of the basics to everybody. As well as he said to me, since he's coaching me now for this process, don't waste your time with people that can't commit to stay within an 11-minute video. Part of the reason they made the video as long as they did is they have a certain amount of information they need to provide to get the basic information, because you know how different it is. But another reason it's so detailed is they want to use it to filter the tire kickers from the serious people. People that are just interested in taking a look are going to quit after 2 or 3 minutes, and they're not going to get through to the end of the video. They're not going to cover the basics, and they're not going to be good recruits. So my first question now, which wasn't my first question with the first 2 people I talked to, but it will be, have you finished watching the 11-minute video? And Bobby's actually recommended to not go any further in the conversation until they had. I chose not to do that on my second call because I hadn't had that conversation with Bobby yet, but it was a result of that call. I talked with the lady for an hour, and at the end of the hour, she still couldn't tell me when she was going to watch the 11-minute video and get back to me. So had I known that at the beginning of the hour, with that first conversation with that first potential recruit, the lady in Ohio that has potentially 500 people that may or may not one day get involved in our business model, I would have known whether she was serious or not by the fact that she could come back in half an hour or an hour the next day and tell me what was important out of the video. And that was the second thing that Bobby said. After they've watched the 11-minute video, ask them what they thought was the biggest difference from anything they've seen before. Because that way you'll know what excites them and be able to focus on that sort of stuff during the rest of your presentation or in your talk to recruit them, because they will tell you what gets them excited. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Now, as far as soliciting everybody for solar sales, they are providing us with the state that everybody's in, so we know whether it's an active state. So if they're not interested in becoming a partner, or they're not interested in becoming a partner right now, they're just a tire kicker, it is perfectly fine and just right to ask them if they would like to be one of your first customers to go through the newest customer sign-up process and get them on a three-way call with the Solar City people that are trained to deal with Powur clients, and just take them right into that customer acquisition process. If they're going to become a Powur partner, part of the changes with the second generation comp plan was you can now become your own grandpa. So what that means is if you're a Powur partner, you can get paid on your own solar install. In the first version of the pay plan, you couldn't be paid on your own solar install, which would force your upline to get paid on it, and that was really good for the people that got started, but a lot of people in the first 6 months complained about that, like they did about the whole coaching thing where people were moved to different people for training. So those things disappeared in the comp changes in January, and they now have a simpler, easier to deal with process that focuses on getting people in and getting their first 3 customers, or getting those people in as one of your first 3 customers. I think it's good. I think it's where it needs to be, and I think that the conversation should always start with, can you be a partner? Is this something you could see yourself doing part-time or full-time, for the next 5-10 years? We're looking for people that want to take action. Particularly the talking points right now are in, what is it here? 12 days, the cost of joining the business goes up by 20%. So if you're talking to somebody that's a business person, and don't even talk dollars, just tell them 20% increase in cost in 12 days, you need to act now. Not only should you act now, but you need to get me in front of your 5 best friends so they can save $100 each too when they join your business. You see how that's different?
Yeah.
You're putting the emphasis on the important thing, which until the price changes is to get as many people in as possible. As soon as May 1st rolls around, from what I understand, the focus is going to be to getting people to the company convention. I did hear a whisper last night that it's going to be on the last weekend of July in San Diego. On Jim Bunch's call, he said at the end of the month. And that's the first the first thing anywhere near specific I've heard yet, which is good news for me. I actually have to get a passport before I can go, or I have to drive on my driver's license, because you can't fly on just a driver's license anymore. You need a passport to go to the States. Not that I couldn't drive, but I don't want to spend 30 hours in a car if I absolutely don't have to. I'd much rather spend that time with the people I'm in business with, or the people that are training me to run this business.
You better stay at my house.
Oh, that would be a wonderful idea. How far are you from the event place in San Diego?
20 minutes, 20 to 30 minutes.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yes.
Pajama party at Sarah's house.
Let's do it, and you're going to train me. My leaders are going to train me in the meantime.
I don't know how many of the other people that are interested in this call are interested in going down, but if we had 4 or 5 people, we could all carpool and tag team on the driving. My friend Mike says that he can get to San Diego from here in Courtney in 14 hours direct. Now, mind you, he's done the trip every 3 months for the last 5 years, because he has relatives there, and his sister goes there every quarter for a week. She does respite. One of her family members is permanently disabled, so she's the long-term respite person that comes in every quarter and gives the people a week off to have a holiday. Yeah, I'm not adverse to driving, but it doesn't make sense to drive by myself and have that huge fuel and time expense. But if we were to split it 3 or 4 ways, it could be a fun way to spend a day traveling each way, and do some team building, as well as all get together with Sarah, and she can show us the local area. We'll make sure we show up a day early, and she can introduce us to some real Mexican food, and show us a bit of the areas of San Diego that you wouldn't see if you came there as a tourist. I'm always excited to meet real people in real situations. I'm not a big fan of the hotel lobby or the fancy places where it's $30 a plate for your food and you don't get to meet or talk to anybody.
One of Elaine's relatives drove from LA to Vancouver, or to Courtney, in 3 days. It took them to get
leisurely enjoying their travel.
Mm-hmm.
I drive 17 hours to Oregon.
Oh, wow. That's longer than I thought it was.
Yeah, 17 hours to Portland, Oregon from my house. I do that trip 2-3 times a year.
Wow. And there's no shorter trip because of where in Oregon you're going? Do you do the I-5 or the Coast Highway?
I-5?
You'd have to do the I-5. Coast would take longer.
Yeah.
I've never taken the drive.
Well, I've driven the coast route coming up from San Diego.
So once we have a confirmed date from the company, we can actually talk about whether we can make this work. I'm not sure of the exact date, but I have a calendar some here. I'm thinking the end of the month. I'm thinking that got to be the 22nd, 23rd, and 24th, or the 29th, 30th, and 31st of the month. He's not going to want to have it. They're not going to want to have it in the beginning because there's a Canadian and a U.S. national holiday, and you try and get anybody anywhere in a national holiday, it could be just a nightmare.
Alrighty, well, come over.
August 1st is a holiday.
All of you are welcome to stay at my humble little casa, and I'll make you some carne asada.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
One less hurdle.
For me, it'll depend on how broke I am when I get back from Spain.
Oh, wow. Look at you.
You're going over to see your family? You've got kids in Spain, I think?
My daughter's getting married in Mallorca in June.
That sounds like fun. You're just going for the wedding, or are you actually going to take a trip, take some time and spend some time there? Or
It's about 10 or 11 days total.
Nice.
So, yeah, it'll be fun.
So that'll be the longest break you've taken from being away since I've known you, actually.
Saving myself.
You don't seem to get away for more than 2 or 3 days for your little jaunts. They all have been business-related or event-related.
Yeah, well, I'm the one that has to pay for respite if I go away, so that
yeah,
always adds a bundle.
Travel, but you have to pay for a professional to come in and take care of all your responsibility, or for her to go out to. Yeah, I guess that could be really cost prohibitive because they probably want more than you get paid. So the difference is your pocket. Oh, well. Makes sense. You know, I have the same problem with my job. I'm here 6 days a week, so if I want to go away for 3 days or a week, I have to pay somebody as well as not be paid. But it's all good. I'm pretty happy about it. I get to be home during the day. One of the advantages I've had so far, which might extend to some of you, is not a lot of the people that won the seat so far have had the availability to be available during the weekday, during the day. So because the leads will be handed out as close to the time they're delivered as possible, those of us that are home during the day will have an advantage over the majority of the people on the list, from what I understand, because everybody's availability seems to start at 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon and be on evenings and weekends, whereas my availability I gave Powur was Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., and that got me 5 leads in the first 5 days. So we'll see how it goes, but think about your availability, because on Wednesday or Thursday you'll be asked to submit a weekly schedule that you can guarantee. And of course, if there's any changes to that, they'd just like to know within 24 hours before. If you've given them a time you're available that for whatever reason isn't. Example, in my schedule, every 2 weeks I can't do Tuesdays mornings because I have the base paper route. So I'm going to send Vanessa an email today saying that tomorrow is the exception for every 2 weeks I mentioned, and I'll let her know when the 2 weeks comes up again, so that she's not calling me at 9 o'clock on Tuesday morning when I'm heading out the door to do 5 hours of newspapers with 2 leads that need to be followed up within 2 hours or less, because I'm obligated then to stop on the side of the road and try and have a business conversation on my cell phone in my car instead of sitting in my office, because I can't leave my job and come back to the home and spend half an hour on my computer. It's just not practical. So they seem to be wanting to work with us as best as possible. Vanessa has been very available to answer questions and to solve issues, any technical stuff. I didn't need to ask how to use an Excel sheet in Google, but I did have to ask Agnes the other day whether it was BBC or CCC in Gmail to keep addresses private, because I get confused with letters, and it's been a long time since I've used Gmail, because for the last 4 years most of my customers' communication has gone out through my autoresponder. And the autoresponder, of course, doesn't let anybody know any of the other people that you're sending it to, so you don't need to know the difference between a BCC and a CCC. So, Dad, in case you don't know, blind is BCC. So when you're sending an email to 5 or 10 people, you want to be BBCing their addresses so that the other people you send it to don't see those addresses, because Powur made it very clear on their first introduction training that I went to that they didn't want the other potential recruits seeing each other's emails, because then they might be cross-solicited for other businesses and make the whole thing a mess. They pay for these leads, and they want to keep them private and in the hands of the person that's dealing with them, not in the other people that you're dealing with at the same time.
I understand that. I know how that works.
Perfect, because it'd been like a year since I'd done it, and because I get confused with numbers and letters, it was like, oh, I better ask, because I don't want to be the guy that gets the red flag. They work on a 3 strikes you're out system here with compliance. I'm pretty sure it's going to be with problems with leads too. The discussion, I was told, their goal is to get 10% conversion. If you convert 5% of the leads you're sent, you'll get continual flow of leads at fair rate. If your conversion rate is between 2 and 5%, you'll get a half share of the leads. And if your conversion rate after 90 days is below 2%, you'll be taken off the leads program and out of the rotation. But honestly, if you can't convert 1 in 50 people, you probably shouldn't be answering their phone. I haven't ever had the conversation with 50 people, at least not in any short period of time. I may have talked to actually 50 people so far. Say, in this sort of situation, or for a lengthy time on the phone beyond just are you interested. I've talked to hundreds to find out if they're interested, but these leads aren't to find out if they're interested. These leads have spent at least 5 to 15 minutes in the system, and they've taken the time to fill out 8 or 10 pieces of information on an intake form. They're not your average leads. Most people don't fill out 7, 8, 9, 10 pieces of information to a stranger.
These are real hot leads.
Exactly. I mean, if you're going to give that sort of information to a stranger, first contact, you are interested. And that's part of the reason that they want us to effectively contact these people in the first 2 hours. I have a system with Vanessa. When she changes my Excel sheet, which is a shared form through the Google Drive system, she sent me the form, and now every time I save it, she gets a copy of it. And Andrea Budd gets a copy of it because she's the other person involved with the leads process. They will message me on Facebook, because I explained to her I always have my Facebook Messenger open. So when they add somebody to my lead sheet, Vanessa will go to Facebook and messenger me, and my Facebook Messenger, my phone is beside me, probably 23 and a half hours a day. It's even on and beside me when I'm sleeping, because I use it for my alarm to get up in the morning. I'm always going to know and be able to respond immediately, and so far I've been able to respond within half an hour, and it was only took that long because the first leads on the Wednesday came in at 7 o'clock in the morning. I was still doing papers till 7:40, which is okay because she knew I was out doing that. I explained that I was up between 4 and 8 and could talk to somebody on the phone, but I was only in front of a computer between 8 and 4 p.m. So here we are. Does anybody else have any questions about the process so far? Dad's already told me he can't make the call tomorrow night. You're good still, Agnes, and you're good, Sarah?
Yeah, it's on my calendar.
Wonderful. So I'm going to let you wonderful people go then if you don't have any questions. We got 40 minutes on tape here and some basic stuff for the people that didn't attend. I'd like to thank you all for your time, for showing up, and I look forward to hearing about you and the process on tomorrow night's call as we all learn more about what they have planned with this. Could be the largest marketing campaign I've ever been a part of. I'm kind of excited that for the first time in the business, I don't have to create the advertising or go out and pay for the leads. And from the sounds of it, they aren't going to ask us to pay for the leads unless it becomes unprofitable for them, and they have to burden us with that partial expense. So as long as we can keep the 5% conversion that they're looking for, they're not going to ask us for money out of pocket for these leads, and they're going to supply it to all of our downlines sooner or later if it works. So I am keen to make sure this thing works as best as possible and keep it focused on getting them people in the door as fast as possible so that they keep the program running so more people we know can benefit from the hardest part of marketing being taken care of, which is finding qualified targeted leads, which are actually homeowners and have an interest in an online business. So far, both the people I've talked to have either been in a solar active area or homeowners, and both of them are actively involved in some sort of network marketing business already. So they're pretty good targeted leads. 80% were homeowners. Only one was in a solar state, but that doesn't surprise me because my experience, I've had over 200 leads through my back office, and I've only come up with one person that was in a solar area out of those 200 leads, partly because about 50 of them were in Canada. They didn't know not to put their postal code in the lead sorter, but I've got that part figured out now. So we'll see how it goes. I'm keen to process their people and talk to more people. Actually, when I get off this call, I'm going to call two gentlemen back that were my leads from Thursday, because what I've been doing is day one, I call them, I introduce myself, I send them an email that has my Facebook link, my cell phone number, and ask them to contact me at either one of those points. Either come find me as a friend on Facebook or call me back at this number. Looking forward to connecting. I'll share these emails with you guys so you can take and work with them and adapt them to your own languaging. They have some good templates in the email you're going to get once this thing starts on Tuesday or Wednesday. Little bit of verbiage change, a little bit of spacing, but they're pretty clean for company scripts. I was really impressed at the quality and the fact that they are a little bit pushy, but they're not ignorant pushy, like sometimes American advertising can be so in your face, offended by it here in Canada. So I was happy to find out it wasn't like that.
Good.
All right, you guys have a great day, and we will listen to you on the call tomorrow night if you get a chance to speak. If not, we'll listen to the powers that be explain how they're going to make our businesses grow for us. So I'm excited, and we will see and talk to you all soon.
Sounds good.
Okay. Take care.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye, everyone.